at the ISS space station above our head here.
Space, the final frontier.
It's about the disco ball. It's one of my favorite things in here.
Spaceman and disco balls. Oh,
There you go, the moon man right there.
Okay. He looks so sad and decrepit, hunched over. He looks short, you say?
Yeah. Do they or no? Is
Yeah,
that
a
just
little
me?
bit. And this is the casual style. NASA, casual fit. Oh my god, this is like
This is
really
cool.
early
What is
prototype.
this?
So this is an early prototype of these spacesuits. This is the Mark III, I guess.
Accordion right here.
Looks like an accordion,
I
yeah.
can see. It's
You know what that
really
reminds
cool,
me
right?
of?
Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy, yeah, that little robot that was on that show.
Oh, yeah. What was
Right?
the robot's name?
I forget. The helmet ring assembly, shoulder assembly, torso assembly. I don't know why, but this reminds me of Space Odyssey 2001 right here.
Oh
It's a
my
cool
god,
scene,
I love that movie.
right?
Fabric. Looks like
Oh,
cool.
that's probably fire retardant.
Oh.
'Cause you can, oh, maybe it's like a lantern. You know, that's the same fabric you see in a lantern.
Really?
So they light him up, and then he acts as a human torch for the rest of his crew members. Okay, there's our answer. It's a liquid cooling garment. Look at this. He's down to his skivvies here. He's got a Hawaiian shirt.
Well, it's just kind of like a homage to the Challenger crew.
Oh, okay.
So they all wore Hawaiian shirts.
yeah.
That's so cool.
The suit provides pressure, thermal protection, oxygen, cooling, water drinking, water, food, waste collection, electrical power, and communications for the astronaut. This is an all-in-one spacesuit. It's gigantic. It's a universal fit, and only the gloves are fit to each of the astronauts specifically. God, there's one of these photographs for every one of the missions, I guess, that they've performed. Just to give you an idea of this curved wall here, how far it goes. All the way over there. Each of the frames on the wall depicts an official crew portrait for each of the NASA human space flight missions. I'm trying to find the Challenger mission crew picture. Alright, I think we found it right here. Selfie stick up there. Okay, so I guess this would be the other one that blew up. Just judging by this little black pin thing here, stripe.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. 2003. I knew there was another one.
So this
Never
is
happened
the
after
re-entry
that.
on February 1st, 2003.
She was the first woman in space.
Oh,
Look how
yeah.
pretty she was.
Yeah, she was.
Very pretty. Top Gun right here.
These astronauts have a problem with depression. They look so sad. It's like really sad. I can't even lift my arms. I'm so sad. Wow, I'm having a good time here. This is impressive. Tour here. It's going to be the rocket park facility and the current mission control. Okay, they're sitting here taking our picture. I thought it was so they could sell it back to us later for tourist prices, but no. This is why.
Put it down. We're gonna get in trouble.
If it's security, why did I have to stand in front of a green screen? They're gonna take those and Photoshop our heads on naked bodies, and then it's an extortion fee. All aboard!
What makes the Johnson Space Center special is ever set foot on the moon.
And do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Home of Orion, the flagship of our nation's next generation space fleet. Flying far beyond low Earth orbit, on deep space missions to asteroids and to Mars. Training and mock-up facilities as Base Food Systems Laboratory, where food scientists develop and process food for space flights. Most foods
Mission control.
There are 54 steps in this building, and we do not want to interrupt communications with the ISS. So once again, turn them completely off. We're in airplane mode.
Please turn off all transmitting devices. So I can still record, I just have to put it in airplane mode. Oh. No flash photography. Okay, I guess it's Sunday, so there's no one here at work today.
Right in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, you'll see a white circle. In that circle is a symbol for the International Space Station. New set of missions. Now, who here has heard of the Orion program? That's about average. We usually have one or two hands raised up during this portion.
Okay, right.
The Orion program is our next human exploration program. When we ended the shuttle program, we ended our building of the International Space Station and our trips to low Earth orbit. We will be continuing that with the ISS and sending up commercial crew vehicles, but we're going to be NASA is going to be focusing on Mars, the planet. So hopefully it'll get us to Mars within the next 15 to 20 years. We've already started our missions. We had the first unmanned test flight back in December. It was the called Exploration Flight Test 1. It was a very successful mission. It did 2 orbits, low Earth orbit, and then 1 out past the Van Allen belts, 17. Since we've sent any vehicle that will be crewed in the future since Apollo 17 mission. We are doing this so we can make sure the capsule is ready. We'll have our first manned mission. We are hoping that, actually 2030 is our first manned mission to Mars. We're hoping for 2025 or so to be the first manned mission of the capsule. No, 2021 for the next unmanned test flight. That's going to be 2018. 2021 is the first manned capsule mission. Apologize for that. Still trying to figure out what I'm saying. Now, 2030 is actually when we're planning to get to Mars. So when we have those Mars missions, this room you see behind me, this is who's going to be controlling those missions. So when we have our next Neil Armstrong, they'll be speaking. They're going to be doing before they go up.
The kids' question.
They do
Wouldn't the people
training.
be afraid?
You have to go through years and years and years of training here on Earth before you can ever go up into space. Yep, there are people trying to find new systems to launch rockets into space. Space Station control room. It is manned 24/7 since we do have astronauts in space. That room is manned 24/7 with a full team of people in there to keep the astronauts alive and the ISS working correctly. There's more than I could ever tell you in a short time, but each one of them, they basically represent a different discipline. They're the only other two I'm going to point out really quickly. Capcom is the capsule communicator. So during a mission, that's the only person who's allowed to talk to the astronauts in space directly. That is because the Capcom is an astronaut. And the astronauts, since they go through all this training together, they develop their own language so they can shorten down pretty much everything I've said to you today. They can shorten that down into maybe a 5-minute speech and communicate to them efficiently that way.
Hey guys, bad news. We got NASA's approval to launch the van to the moon, but I made a glitch in my calculations and we don't have enough fuel to return home. Can you guys please send some of the money so I can buy some fuel to return back to Earth?
Thanks for watching, guys. Get out there and live the dream. LTD. Later.